What's up, guys? Coach John Wojo here with JW Fitness, answering yet another question. Hi, I have seen a lot of people saying drinking protein will help with fat loss because it's protein. I am curious as to if that works. I don't do a great deal of exercise. This person seems to have a lot of personal issues going on at the moment. I was just curious if it works. I'm on a calorie deficit. So if you're not really familiar with protein, and if you're not familiar with the benefits of protein, and if you're asking this question, that tells me that you're not probably all that familiar with nutrition in general. And if you're not all that familiar with nutrition in general, then I find it hard to believe that you know for a fact that you're necessarily in a calorie deficit or not, because you don't seem to kind of grasp the idea of nutrition in general, right? And that's not an insult. I'm just saying, like, I could tell by the way you're asking the question, I would not bet money on the fact that you are in a calorie deficit because you think you are. Having said that, however, drinking protein does not spur on fat loss. It's not like a magic elixir that causes you to burn fat. It's just that if you're following a proper nutrition plan, you want to be resistance training. You want to be doing some sensible cardio. You want to be doing a lot of additional non-exercise related activity to keep up those numbers. You want to be eating if your goal is fat loss, you want to be eating in a calorie deficit, meaning the total energy that you're taking in is below the total amount of energy that you're expending, and therefore your body has to look to its own fat stores for the deficit in energy that it's not getting through the food you're eating. And therefore, it's going to slowly utilize that stored body fat over time. And over time, you're going to get leaner and lose body fat. Now, for every calorie range you're in, you want to hit a certain percentage macronutrient ratio. And that's up to you. It's different for everybody. But generally, it's somewhere between 30 and 40% of your daily calories are going to come from protein. And then you're going to split the difference roughly in some way between carbohydrates and fats. And then that's entirely up to you. Some people have 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. You got to figure that out for yourself. Generally, you want to be somewhere upwards of a gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. Anything above that's really not going to help you. You don't need to be at that number or that high, but somewhere, 0.8 up to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day is probably a really good number to shoot for, to make sure that your bases are completely covered and you're getting plenty of protein to recover from all your hard work. And then you want to take that whatever that total is, the total calories in your macro breakdown, however you've determined where you want to be, and you want to break that total out into roughly 4 relatively even meals spaced out 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. And that's probably a good place to start for most people. So if you're a 200-pound guy, you're aiming for 2,000 calories a day, let's say, and 200 grams of protein. Actually, you want to be higher on the calorie range. I just threw that out there. But let's say you're aiming for 200 grams of protein a day because you're a 200-pound man or woman. You want to split that up roughly evenly. That would be 50 grams of protein 4 times a day. And that is how I would structure my meal plan for you. I think I got off base on your question. Protein will help with fat loss. Well, yeah, it's not directly helping with fat loss. It's helping with recovery from your workouts. But keeping your protein high, protein is it's the most difficult macronutrient in a sense to really convert into stored body fat. our body will either utilize the protein or utilize it as energy before your body kind of thinks about storing it as body fat. It also requires the most amount of energy for our bodies to digest and break down the amino acids in the protein. So if you're trying to keep your the thermogenic effect of the foods that you eat and that calorie burn as high as possible, I'm not saying it's a dramatic difference, but for whatever it's worth, a higher protein diet, there's a benefit to the calories that your body utilizes, the energy that your body utilizes to break down those foods is higher on a high protein diet. That's another reason to do it. I think I covered all those bases. So yes, if you appreciate the content, like and subscribe, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.